Yes, good afternoon. Uh, we shall start with the new unit today. Uh, this is the design of portal frames. First, we shall take up the example problem and we'll understand the concepts. Okay. Uh, the question is like this: the roof of an assembly hall is 24-meter long and 10-meter wide. This is the room dimension, 24-meter by 10-meter. Between centers of columns and consists of a continuous RC slab over a rectangular portal frame. The columns are provided with independent footings and are fixed at the bottom. Uh, Design the continuous slab, portal frames and foundation footing for the column using the following data. So spacing of these portal frames between 4 meter center, height of column 4 meter, SBC of soil 200 kN per meter square. Materials used M25 grade concrete, Fe415 HPSD bars. So drawings you have to make. Section of the portal frame showing reinforcement in the beam, columns and footing. Cross section of the continuous slab showing reinforcement details. The complete actual RCC design is comprised in one single problem. You will have two different conditions of foundation. One will be fixed and another one will be hinged. Okay. Here, first problem we shall take the fixed foundation. That means here you can observe a portal frame A, B, C, D, where A and D are the foundations, which is indicated by fixed point. So it is fixed in nature. So this is one type of problem in the design of portal frames. Uh, Intervals of portal frame means intervals of portal frame is 4 meter. It is given in the question. So one basic concept what you need to understand here is your bending movement will be along the portal frame, not along the other direction. See, look here. The portal frame, what I have indicated, is sectional elevation on the right hand side. What you are seeing is this portion. ಈ portion ನೀವು ಕಾಣ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು. ಆದರೆ ಸರ್ ಆ ಥರ ಯಾಕೆ ತಗೊಳ್ಬೇಕು, ಹಿಂಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು? ನೋ, ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಹಿಂಗೆ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ಪೋರ್ಟಲ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ದಿಸ್ ಈಸ್ ದಿ ಮೈನ್ ಬೀಮ್. Main beam is this one and these are the columns. So this beam is rested on these two columns. These columns in the transverse direction, what you are seeing is transverse beam. ಈ beam ಏನು ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ಇದೇನಿದು transverse beam. Okay, transverse beam. This is not a main beam. Main beam in this direction. Main beam is in this direction, shorter direction, as to 10 meters. Shorter direction, a longer direction 24 meter ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, 1 2 3 4 5 like that, up to 24 meters you will have. So from the top, if I look, how will it indicate? You will observe it like this. See, so these are the boxes. What you are observing are all columns, and your portal frame is framed like this. This is the portal frame. This is the transverse beam. So portal frames are placed at 4 meter center to center. So 4 meter center to center. Okay. The hatching portion and all I will explain. Okay. So this is the structure. So what you need to do is you have to design one portal frame. ಯಾವ್ದಾರ ಒಂದು portal frame ನ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇದು ಅಥವಾ ಇದು ಆ ರೀತಿ. So in the portal frame you will have different condition: end portal frame, central, intermediate portal frame. Otherwise in the advanced condition you will have continuous portal frame. So frames like this ಈ ರೀತಿಯನ್ನು ಸಿಗ್ಬೋದು. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕಾಲಮ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಇಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬೀಮ್ ಕನೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಈ ತರ ಕಾಣುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಈ ರೀತಿ. At this point of time we shall just concentrate on this small problem. Okay, this is the frame what you are seeing. Okay, frame structure. This is the, we just call it as a skeleton of the structure. line diagram. So first you need to note down all the given data. So all the given data are noted, and then you have to draw the free body diagram, that is line diagrams. Whatever it is given in the question, you indicate it in the form of a diagram. That is very important. And you have to indicate how and where, from which point to which point you are trying to design. So indication is very, very important. So calculation of slab depth. So what will happen is, this is the frame structure what you are seeing. ಇದೇನು ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಬೀಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಬೀಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಬೀಮ್. ಈ ಬೀಮ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಹೇಗೆ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ನ? So we'll place the slab over these things. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಹೀಗೆ ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಆದರೆ ಈ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಲೋಡು ಯಾವುದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಕನ್ವರ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ? ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಇಂದ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? It will transfer the slab load to the beams. Beams will transfer the load to the columns. Columns will transfer the load to the foundation. So even though the construction goes from foundation, column, beam, then slab, as a design engineer, you have to come from top to bottom. So bottom, top ಇಂದ ಬಾಟಮ್ಗೆ ಬರಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬೀಮ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಲಮ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್. Like that, that is the flow of the design, structural design. That is the flow of structural design. First you will do slab design, then beam design, then column design, then foundation design. This is the flow of structural designing. Okay. So first what you need to do is, you need to decide whether this slab is one way or two way. To do that, you need to what you call use this formula, Ly divided by Lx. So 10 by 4, which is greater than 2, hence consider one way slab. If the Ly by Lx ratio is less than 2, then you have to go for two-way slab. What is the difference between one-way slab and two-way slab? In one-way slab, in shorter direction you will have main reinforcement, in longer direction you will have distribution reinforcement. Whereas in two-way slab, in both the direction, short and long direction, you will have main reinforcements. Okay. Here one thing, very important thing, as a design engineer or a civil engineer, you should understand that for this slab, always shortest distance is the main reinforcement direction. Short distance along ಆ ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ನೀವು ಮೇನ್ reinforcement ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ? ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ಗೆ. ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ಗೆ ಶಾರ್ಟರ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇನ್ reinforcement ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಲಾಂಗರ್ ಡೈರೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಸ್ಟೀಲ್ ನ ಪ್ಲೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಒನ್ ವೇ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್. ಸೊ due to continuous in spacing of portal frame, it becomes a continuous RC slab. Okay. So in RCC, design of RCC, what you have done in 5th semester, so there you have done the design of slab for a single panel, one panel ge. So ಈ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಪ್ಯಾನಲ್ ಮಾತ್ರ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. But here you are going to consider the slab which is continuous in nature. ಈ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಈ ಪೋರ್ಟಲ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಇಂದ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಈ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಒಂದೇ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಒಂದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದೆ. ಸೊ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡಿಸೈನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್. ಓಕೆ. Now refer IS 456/2000 clause number 23.2.1a. ಯಾವುದಪ್ಪ ಅದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, 23.2.1. 23.2.1a. So basic values of span of effective depth ratio of span up to 10 meter. Okay. For cantilever you will take 7. For simply supported you will take 20. For continuous you will take 26. So here we are designing continuous slab. So you have to take span by depth ratio as 26. Span by depth is equal to 26, that is Lx by d is equal to 26. So here Lx is known, d you have to calculate. Assuming 0.3% tension reinforcement in this slab, that is Pt is equal to 0.3%. Refer IS 456 figure 4. IS 456 figure 4. So this is figure 4. Here Fs is equal to 0.58 Fy. So 0.58 Fy. Fy is 415. This is 240.7 Newton per mm square, where Fs is the steel stress of service loads in Newton per mm square. So for Fs is equal to 240.7 Newton per mm square, Pt is equal to 0.3%. Modification factor should be taken from figure number 4. So Fs is 40, right? Fs is 240.7. Pt is 0.3. Pt is 0.3. Fs is 240. So here it is around 1.6 to 1.5 range. So you will take 1.5. Kt is equal to 1.5, which is the modification. Hence Lx divided by d into Kt. So you have to multiply the depth by modification factor. So then your depth will be 102.56 mm, say 110 mm. Assume 20 mm effective cover, that is d dash is equal to 20 mm. Therefore, overall thickness of this slab is d is equal to effective depth small d plus effective cover d dash is equal to 110 plus 20, 130 mm. Therefore, adopt slab overall depth of 130 mm and effective depth of 110 mm. So, slab depth can be assumed, okay, based on experience. So, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200, like that. You can assume. For a residential building, the minimum thickness what you are going to give is 125 to 150 mm you are going to provide. For public buildings, you will provide around 150 to 175. So 200 mm andre heavy, it is heavy slab. Maybe you will provide those types of slabs for say multiplexes, big malls where public are very huge in number, their live load will be very high. So in those conditions, you may provide 200 mm. So it is very heavy. And another place where you can provide 200 mm are your bridge slab. So deck slab anta ಓದ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ bridges ಅಲ್ಲಿ, design of bridges ಅಲ್ಲಿ, there you will encounter above 150 mm slabs. So for the buildings, basically you will provide 150 mm as the standard thickness. So 125 in the 150 mm thickness idre overall thickness of the slab, that would be sufficient for the buildings, right? So calculation of slab load. First you have to calculate the self weight of the slab. So that means the weight of slab itself. D, which is the overall depth, into density of RCC. ವಿಲ್ ಗೆಟ್ 3.25 kilonewton per meter square. Weight of roof finishes, ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ ಟೈಲ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ, ಈಗ ಏನಾದ್ರು ಮಾಡ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ 0.5 kilonewton per meter square. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಫಿನಿಶಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಸೀಲಿಂಗ್ಗೆ ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟರ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಫ್ಯಾನ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫಾಲ್ ಸೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀರಾ, ಸೊ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಮೇಲೆ. ಅದೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ 0.3 kilonewton per meter square. This is just assumption value which is also standard according to the or you can take 1 kilonewton per meter square combinedly. So roof finishes ಮತ್ತೆ ಸೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಫಿನಿಶಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲದನ್ನು ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕಾಂಬಿನೇಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ 1 kilonewton per meter square ಅಂತಾನು ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್. ನೋ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ವರಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ದಟ್ ದಿ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಸ್. ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತುಂಬಾ ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ಇದಕ್ಕೂ ಅಜಗಜಾಂತರ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಅಂತಾರಲ್ಲ, 15, 20 ಆ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ತಗೊಳಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. 0.5 ಪ್ಲಸ್ 0.3 0.8 ಅಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ನೀವು ಒಂದು ತಗೋಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೀನಿ, 2, 3, 4, 5 ಅಂತ ತಗೊಂಡ್ತಾ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು. ಸಿ ಹಿಯರ್ ಲೈವ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಆನ್ ದಿ ರೂಫ್, ಹಿಯರ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮಿಂಗ್ 1.5 kilonewton per meter square. See, for residential building we will take the live load as 2 kilonewton per meter square. For public buildings such as schools, hospitals, like that, where more number of people will be working on the slab, there we will take 4 kilonewton per meter square as the live load on the slab. Okay, here just we are assuming for the purpose of the examination example. ಸೊ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ 150 ಇದ್ದಿದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದೆ, 2 kilonewton ತಗೊಳ್ತಿದ್ದೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಏನೋ ಬೇ ಇದೆ, ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಚಿಕ್ಕ ರೂಮ್ ಥರ ಇದೆ, ಓಪನ್ ರೂಮ್ ಥರ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ವಿಲ್ ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ 1.5 kilonewton per meter. ಸೊ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ವೆಯ್ಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ 5.55 kilonewton per meter square. This is how you have to take the load of the slab. By experience, assume roof finishes is equal to 0.1 to 1 kilonewton per meter square. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನು ಈ ಥರ ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಸೀಲಿಂಗ್ ಫಿನಿಶಸ್ 0.1 to 0.5, ಲೈವ್ ಲೋಡ್ 1 to 3 kilonewton per meter square. ಈ ರೇಂಜಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಬೋದು. ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಬೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಬೀಮ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ಸ್ of uniform cross section which supports substantially uniformly distributed loads over 3 or more spans which do not differ by more than 15% of the longest. The bending moments used in design may be obtained using the coefficient given in table number 12. Okay, so here what will happen is, according to your you have done stand 2, right? So we have the knowledge of continuous beams, right? So in continuous beam, what will happen to the bending moment diagram? At the supports, you will experience what? At the support, you will experience negative bending. So ಇಲ್ಲಿ support ಅಲ್ಲಿ, intermediate support ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, negative bending moment you will experience. Like that, in the slab also, at the support you will experience negative bending moment. So first we shall take negative bending moment per meter width or interior support. So here negative bending moment means support moments. Okay, so here you have the diagram. So you have, these are the factors, dead load and live load factors. ಇದೇನಿದೆ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ಮೊಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಫಾರ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್. ಫಾರ್ ಒಬ್ಟೈನಿಂಗ್ ಬೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮೊಮೆಂಟ್, ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಶಾಲ್ ಬಿ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲೈಡ್ ಬೈ ದಿ ಟೋಟಲ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್. ಸೊ WDL ಇಂಟು L ಸ್ಕ್ವೇರ್ ಇಂಟು ಏನು -1/12 ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ -1/9. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ? ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ಗೆ. ಪಾಸಿಟಿವ್ಗೆ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ, ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನೋಡಿ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಬೆಂಡಿಂಗ್. ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ, ಡೆಡ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ, ಲೈವ್ ಲೋಡ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ. ಟೋಟಲ್ ಲೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಲೈವ್ ಲೋಡ್ನ ಡಿಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಡೆಡ್ ಲೋಡ್, ಓಕೆನಾ? ಆ ಥರ substitute span of the slab. Span of the slab, I am frequently mentioning your slab dimension is 4 by 10. Okay, slab dimension is 4 by 10. You have to provide the main reinforcement in the shorter direction. Main reinforcement in shorter direction. So what is the span here? 4 meter. Okay, 10 meter anta ಹಾಕ್ಬೇಡಿ, span ಅಲ್ಲ, that is span of beam. 10 meter is the span of beam. What is the span of slab? Slab span ಏನು? 4 meters. Very, very important. Repeatedly I am mentioning. Okay, very, very important. Next, you go for this is the service load and you have to multiply it by 1.5, you will get factored bending moment. That is negative bending moment ಅಂತ ಮುಂಚೆ ಹೇಳಿರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು. ಓಕೆ, ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಇದೇನು ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ bending moment. Next, positive bending moment factors you will have dead load factor 1/16, live load factor 1/12 ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸೊ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಸೇಮ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ, ಆದರೆ ಈ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, factors multiply ಮಾಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ you will get 6.05 kilonewton meter as the positive bending moment, multiply it by 1.5 factored load, the factor of safety, where negative bending moment is greater than positive bending moment, hence design of main reinforcement using negative bending moment. So ಏನಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಆ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಮೈನ್ ರಿಇನ್ಫೋರ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಬೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ನಾವು ರಿಇನ್ಫೋರ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ನೆಗೆಟಿವ್ ಬೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮೂಮೆಂಟ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು ನಾವು ರಿಇನ್ಫೋರ್ಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ನ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. MU is equal to whichever the value is higher, MU negative or MU positive. MU negative is higher, so MU is equal to MU negative. 12.1 kilonewton meter. Per ಅಂದ್ರೆ per ಪೇಪರ್ ಅದಾಗ್ತೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೆ. ಓಕೆ, kilonewton meter. Bending moment coefficient is applicable for spans having more than 3 spans. Okay. Next, so bending moment for span less than 3, table number 26 ನೋಡಿ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ನೋಡಿ, ಅದು ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ನೋಟ್ ಅದು. ಓಕೆ, ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಚೆಕ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಡೆಪ್ತ್. ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಡೆಪ್ತ್ ನಾವು ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡೋದು 130 mm, ಓಕೆನಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ದಿಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ, MU limit is equal to 0.148 FCK/BD square. We have M15, so D is equal to under root MU by 0.138 FCK/B. ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, 3 ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. FE 250ಗೆ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ, FE 415ಗೆ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ, FE 500ಗೆ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ. ಈ ಥರ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾಸೇ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೇನಿದೆ FE 415 ಸ್ಟಿಲ್, ಸೊ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. Substitute for D, you will get 59.22 mm. So 59.22 is less than 120 mm, which is the provided one. So ನಾವು required depth ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿನೇ ಪ್ರೊವೈಡ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, hence okay. Width is equal to 100 mm per meter. That means 1 meter width ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. Width of beam ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಎಷ್ಟು 230 mm 300 mm ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಲಾಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತಲ್ವ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, 1 meter ಸ್ಟ್ರಿಪ್ನ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೆ. calculation of main reinforcement, M is equal to 0.875 AST into D, 1 minus AST F5 FCK BD. So this is the standard formula for calculating AST. So use this formula and calculate AST. Substitute all the values what you have. Very easy. Okay. AST will get, it is AST 320.15 mm square, and then calculate the spacing. So let us provide 8 mm dia bars. So spacing is around 157 under 150 mm. So 8 mm dia bars at 150 mm center as the main reinforcement. Calculation of distribution reinforcement. So here for FE415 and FE500, we have the minimum reinforcement should be 0.12%. For FE250, the minimum reinforcement should be 0.15%. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೆಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಟೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬುಕ್ಕಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದು ನೋಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ, ನೀವು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು ಇದೊಂದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಮು ಕ್ಲಾಸಲ್ಲಿ, ಆದರೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ಟೈಪ್ ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು. ಆವಾಗ ಏನೇನೆಲ್ಲ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ಸು ಅಂತ ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ಬೈ ಹಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ, ಕಂಡೀಷನ್ಗೆ ತಕ್ಕಂಗೆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ. ಎ ಎಸ್ ಟಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ತಗೋತೀವಿ, ಎಸ್ ಟಿ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ 0.12%. ಸೊ 0.12 ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ 100 ಇಂಟು ಬಿ ಡಿ. ಸೊ 0.12 ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ 100 ಇಂಟು 1000 ಇಂಟು 130 ವಿಚ್ ಈಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು 156 mm square. Right? Next. AST minimum, substitute and get the value 156 mm square. So 8 mm dia bars at around 300 mm center. Okay. Next, calculation of shear force. Again, you will have shear force coefficient. Shear force used in design may be used using the coefficient given in table number 13. Okay. So dead load coefficient, live load coefficient, shear force LSE product. So for obtaining the shear force, the coefficient shall be multiplied by the total design load. So shear force is equal to W into L, where W is equal to 0.5 DL plus 0.6 LL. That means V is equal to 0.5, 4.05 plus 0.6 into 1.5 into 4 will give you 11.7 kilonewton. So that is the shear force. Ultimate shear force, you multiplied by 1.5, you will get 17.55 kilonewton. So refer clause number 40.1. So you will get same stress, shear stress check gotala. Tau V is equal to VO by BD. VT is equal to 100 AST provided divided by BD. Just 0.3%. According to 0.3%, check the strength of the shear strength of the concrete by comparing the value in table number 19. You will get the value of tau C as 0.386. So 0.386 ಏನಾಗಿದೆ, 0.159 ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆ, hence okay. So maximum shear stress, note the value of tau C max from table 20, which is 3.1 Newton per mm square. For FCK 25 Newton per mm square. So for solid slab, the design shear strength for concrete shall be tau C into K. So that is tau C into K. K is 1.3 here. So therefore tau C is into 1.3, 0.5 ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Since tau V is less than tau C into K, then shear reinforcement is not required. So therefore shear stress are within permissible limit. So up to this point we have done what we have done. We have done the design of slab design ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಥರ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಈ ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಸ್ಲ್ಯಾಬ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಇವಾಗ ಏನು, ಬೀಮ್ ಮತ್ತು ಕಾಲಮ್ಸ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಫೌಂಡೇಶನ್ ಡಿಸೈನ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. In the next classes we shall take up the beam, column and foundation designs. For now we have done the design of slab. At this point of time I will start this session. I will stop this session. We shall continue in the next class. So you have to practice these things. And one more thing, everyone should attend the webinar what I have posted in the group, the classes during that time will be suspended. Okay. Yeah. So it is compulsory that you have to attend the webinar.